Psyche Truth. Life Wisdom.
Hey, this is Dina Maddie with Today I Will Be Fit. And today I brought you a 20-minute CrossFit and high-intensity interval inspired workout that I developed for weight loss just for you, which combines the best of both worlds. We're gonna do a 30-day challenge, so make sure to favorite this video so you can come back and do it 4 to 5 times a week and do one of our other stretching videos the other 2 to 3 days a week. So let's get started. We're gonna start with a little warm up here, so go ahead and get up in plank position. And I want you to take your right foot and bring it up to your right hand. Bring it back to the plank position and your left foot up to your left hand. And we wanna make sure we get nice and deep, but we keep moving. This is a dynamic stretching exercise because in the warm up, you wanna get your blood flowing. And if you can, move more dynamically, where you open up those hips. And give me another 3, 2, and 1. Now get back to the plank position and we're gonna do a few more hip opening dynamic stretches. So up into plank and then bring your feet forward to your hands and then sit back into those heels. You can be able to move a little bit left and right, opening up those hips. And this is really good for people that work in an office and sit at a desk all day because your hips are always really tight. Back into plank position. And then one quick movement, jump up to a squat and bring that chest lifted and up and back, shoulders back and down. We don't want to see any of this. You already do enough of this in front of the computer, in front of when you're driving a car and your desk. You don't want to do that when you're working out. So back and up into one more squat and make sure to breathe deeply. Like if I have something written on my shirt and I'm looking in the mirror, I want to be able to read what's written on your shirt. So left and right, make sure you open up those hips and then back down to your knees in a tabletop position. So I want you to take your right knee and bring it towards your right elbow, up, and then point it towards the back of the room and then back down in just one big circle. So give me a couple of circles on the right side. And we'll also do this standing up in a second in case it's hard for you to see. So take your left knee, bring it up towards your left elbow, out to your left side, back to pointed towards the back of the room, and down. So give me some big hip opening circles. And down, and then back up. So this next move is more of a lunge to get those hips open and to get that range of motion. So you're gonna go forward, you're gonna go to the right with your right leg, and then you're gonna go backwards. And then making sure to descend really calm and controlled. So don't just throw your leg back there. There you go. So this may be the last video that you see me in as a brunette, because I am thinking about going blonde. It is about to be summer, and I hear that blondes have more fun. I don't know, what do you think? Leave me a comment and let me know. So we're gonna go ahead and switch to the left leg. So bring your left leg, you wanna make sure it's a nice 90-degree angle, and you wanna make sure that your knee is not going past your ankle, so none of that. And then to the left, and then backwards, and being really gently. If you touch the ground at all with your knees, do it very softly. If this hurts your knees at all, you don't have to extend your range of motion as far. If it hurts your knees, then you don't have to go down as far. But I still want you to open up those hips and work on that lateral side to side and that forward and back movement. So one more of these. And then we're gonna do a little bit more hip opening, warm up the upper body, and get right into our nice fat burning workout. So take your arms and bring them over and under. This gives you a nice dynamic stretch to make sure that your muscles don't get cold right before we're about to work them out. So you wanna go over with the right arm and then under. Give yourself a nice hug. You know you're about to do a hard workout. And then we also wanna take the arms up and back. And whenever you come up, I want you to push your chest through. So don't sit like this with your back hunch forward like in the position that we're always in all the time. I want you to be up and chest lifted and kind of push your head through the window just a little bit. And that'll warm up your chest and your pectoral area and your back as well. All right, now take your right knee with your right hand and really push that hip forward, getting that nice stretch in the glutes right here and along the IT band as well, the upper part. And then lean into it. We're going to try that on the right side again. So if you need some balance, you can do this against the wall and really pull that knee up. You should feel this in the hips, especially if you sit all day long. So I converted my sit-down desk at work to a stand-up desk, and I don't have that tension and the tightness in the hips anymore. So one more round of the warm-up. Get those arms nice and ready to go, and then we're gonna get straight into our 20-minute CrossFit-inspired workout. Are you guys ready to go? All right, give me 2 more of these. 2 and 1. Okay, so here we go, straight into this workout. We're gonna start, and it's gonna be 20 minutes, and I'm gonna go ahead and time it for us. So the workout is 5 squats, 5 sit-ups, 5 push-ups, and 5 burpees. Don't worry, I'll show you, but let's go ahead and get started with our 5 squats. And here we go. So you wanna make sure that you're pushing your knees out and that you're keeping your chest nice and lifted when you're doing your squats. Sit-ups are next. Let's start with the modified version. So all of the beginner versions are gonna be in the middle, and then I'll go ahead and push you a little bit more towards the end. So 5 sit-ups, just bring your shoulder blades off of the ground and making sure to touch your lower back into the ground. 4 and 5, and back up. 5 push-ups. And for our beginner modification, we're gonna do on the knees, but I don't want you like this doing push-ups. I want you at a diagonal. I want your elbows or your shoulders and your elbows and your wrists in line, and then chest down, up. Make sure you're looking at a spot 6 to 8 inches in front of you. 4 and 5. And guess what our next move is? Burpees. So 5 burpees. And we're gonna do a beginner modification, so the beginner is gonna be a little easier. Put your hands down, bring your left and your right foot back, your left and your right foot forward, and stand up. Make sure to push your hips through and squeeze your glutes. That's 1. And don't worry, all of my advanced people, I'll give you a few more options later in the video. So give me 2 more. And this is also the best thing about a 20-minute, as many rounds as possible workout, back to 5 squats. And if you're a beginner, you don't necessarily have to go as deep, but just make sure that you're pushing your hips back. I don't want you doing this. So 4, this may be a beginner. 5, and then down to sit-ups. The best part about what I like about CrossFit is that it's good for any level. So there could be a beginner doing the same workout as an advanced person, and they can get the same benefits out of it. They're just doing different variations and different levels of the same exact workouts. So anybody can go in there and get a good workout. Just make sure you have a good coach and that you explain to them what your needs are and what your goals are. You know, what are your goals? Like, how much weight do you want to lose? Do you even want to lose weight? Do you want to gain muscle? I mean, these are things that we need to know as coaches. Back up to burpees. And now instead of walking back, you can jump back and jump up. And make sure to pull the hips through. 2, 3, 4. And this is what makes this a really effective workout, is that we're challenging different parts of the body. So we're doing squats, and we're also keeping our heart rate up by adding in that burpee and that short little cardio interval challenge. Back to sit-ups. So now that you know the workout, you can go at your own pace. We're gonna modify and challenge a little bit for our beginners stay just like this, and our moderate people can go up to a full sit-up. And also, a more challenging move, instead of doing just regular push-ups, is to take the push-ups and do them full. You can always drop to your knees. That is always an option, and that is okay. I guarantee you there'll be some times in my workouts I'll have to drop to my knees. You'll probably even see me in this workout. But of course, everybody is exactly where they're supposed to be, as long as you're pushing yourself and as long as you're feeling the burn. Are you feeling your heart rate get up a little bit? You can go ahead and you can give me a like or a thumbs up and share it with your friends if you think they'd get a good workout too. So this is a little bit more of a range of motion, getting deeper into that squat. It's getting a little bit more advanced. Back down to sit-ups. But also make sure to check out my website, Today I Will Be Fit, where I have, in addition to workouts, I have nutrition advice and advice on how to live just a healthy and well-rounded life. So back to push-ups. You can do them either on your knees or with a full straight back. Just make sure that you keep no sinking and no piking. So I want you to keep that nice straight back and keep that pelvis tucked in just a little bit to make sure that your lower back is protected. Back to burpees. Here we go. Just 5 of these, but this is what really jacks up your heart rate and helps burn all that fat. And that's what we want anyways, right? So back into squats. And the neat thing about this workout is that you can pace yourself and you can challenge yourself. Back down to sit-ups. So if you're more advanced, try not to take your heels up off the ground. Try not to use momentum. Use strictly your core strength. And 5. And push-ups. And I'll go ahead and show you. You can modify it anytime. It's perfectly okay to do push-ups on your knees. And if your knees are hurting, you can also take a pillow, or you can fold your mat in half to make a more padding, so then that way your knees are more protected. I also like sometimes putting a small pillow like this underneath your knees, and that can help as well. So back to burpees. I'll show you the beginner modification. You can always just take your feet up and back. That's perfectly okay. So we are over 8 minutes in. And 1 more burpee. So in your weight loss challenge, what I want you to do is this workout. And I want you to do this 4 to 5 times a week. It's only like a 25-minute workout. You can do it in the morning, you can do it in the evening. I kind of prefer to get my workouts done around 5 or 6 o'clock right before dinner. When do you like to work out? Do you do workouts in the morning or the evening? Let me know, leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. And 1 more, 2 burpees. Push-ups on our knees, just 5. The beauty of this workout is that you can take it slow or you can speed it up whenever needed. I'm gonna show you a more advanced version of the burpee where you take your chest all the way to the ground. So this is for people who want a little more challenge. Chest all the way to the ground and up. 2, Lower very softly to the ground. You want to make sure you don't slam your body into the ground. 4 and 5. And that'll definitely jack up your heart rate. If you don't do that every time, you can just try it once or twice just to see the difference and bring your heart rate up and keep yourself in that fat burning zone. Down to sit-ups again. And remember, you can always simplify where just your shoulders are up off the ground, but make sure that you're engaging your core, and you should feel the small of your back touching the ground every time. And then push-ups. Remember, we can always modify these different ways. Make sure to breathe. Try breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. And burpees, I'm going to show you the beginner version again. So it's always up to you what methods you choose. And the best part is, you're only trying to be better than you were yesterday. I'm not competing against anybody else in the gym except myself. So, back to squats. So 1. And the really good ways to prevent injury in these workouts is to make sure that you're protecting your lower back and following the form and the cues that I'm showing you. Like with this squat, making sure that you push your knees out. With this, making sure that you're lifting just your shoulders and that you're not using your back in an inappropriate way. Our lower back is something we need to strengthen and not overuse. 2 push-ups. Here we go, just 5 push-ups. Sometimes people's wrists will hurt when they do push-ups, so you can also do them on your fists as well. That will help. And also making sure to keep your shoulders over your wrists will lessen the strain compared to having them at an angle. So that's another way to help with push-ups if your wrists hurt, and making sure that you stretch your wrists, which we will do at the end of it. So here we go to burpees. You can always do the jump back to plank. I'm starting to sweat. Are you guys? If you're sweating, then you should give me a thumbs up. And back to squats. And we're over halfway done. 4 and 5. Back to sit-ups. And you can go all the way up. And it doesn't matter. You take your hands overhead and come forward, however you'd like to do them. Sometimes people like to do sit-ups like this so they don't use the rocking movement. They strictly isolate their core. And however you want to do it is fine. And here we go with push-ups. 2, 3, 4. And you can always modify. If things are too difficult and you're really working up towards it, then take a break, pause, slow down. You don't have to do anything that hurts, but just make sure you push yourself. And take it slow if you need to. 20 minutes of movement is sometimes better than 20 minutes of suffering, potentially hurting yourself. You don't want injury. You definitely want to get stronger at the right pace. So here we are with some squats. 5 squats, here we go. And one thing that you really want to think about is pushing your knees out on the way down, but also pushing your knees out on the way up. A lot of times I see in the gym this kind of thing, especially when we're under heavy weight. That's bad. I want knees out. That will help prevent injury to your knees later on. So sit-ups, here we go. And we can simplify, or we can do the ones with your shoulders where your elbows go all the way to your knees. And One quick little aside. I just bought this watch and set the time instead of 20 minutes for 20 hours. So I was wondering why we're at 19 hours and 41 minutes, but don't you worry. I'm not gonna make you work out for 19 hours. But this may or may not be an exact 20-minute workout, so forgive me if it's 21. But I'm sure you'll thank me later. So 5 push-ups, here we go. And there's different ways to do push-ups. You can also do push-ups with your hands and your elbows that go out, which is more of a chest workout. To me, I don't like those because I have to work harder. Like where you bring them in, more like a chaturanga style push-up when you're doing in yoga, and that way you bring your elbows back. But to me, if you don't have strong triceps, then it's gonna not be fun, but you're also using less energy. So I like them because in the long run, they're easier, but it's really up to you. So give me some nice burpees. All of you advanced folks are going chest to deck and coming all the way up with a clap. Back into squats. So I like my little thing with the watch. Hey, that's kind of a blonde thing already, isn't it? So I've got the mindset for the blonde. What do you guys think? I mean, like, it would kind of give a really good excuse to the blonde moment that just happened with the watch. I don't know, I'm still deciding. So this is a really effective workout because of these burpees that are about to come up. And I know that you don't want to do them, but we're only going to do a couple more rounds. So see if just for me, if you can do the full burpees, the ones where you get the chest all the way to the ground. 4 and 5. Come on, I'm going to do them with you. Oh, we all love them. Ready? Here we go. All the way to the ground. 2, 3, 4, and one more. Okay, let's just do this round one more time because it's probably about 20 minutes. It's definitely somewhere in that range, less than 20 hours and more than 0 hours. That's all I got. One more round, come on. Sit-ups. If you can work for the last 30 seconds, that's all that I ask. You want to finish strong. Don't give up before the very end. And more push-ups. 5 more, so the last 5 we're gonna do. Make sure to breathe. And burpees. Come on, let's get the hard ones. Let's do them. Count them with me. 2, 3, 4, last one, 5. Okay, that was a nice round of burpees, everybody. So let's cool down. Let's go ahead and bring it down, bring that heart rate down. It's okay to do some static stretching now. A lot of times I like to, after I get done with a really high intensity workout and my heart rate's up, I like to keep my hands above my heart and just walk around for just a minute and breathe deeply. You never want to sit down like this, especially after you're done sprinting or after you're done with a workout that keeps your heart rate up, because that way your chest isn't getting as much air. This way your chest and your lungs are nice and open and you're breathing. Give me a little bit of a back bend, and then I want you to fold, hinge at the waist, come all the way down, bring your hands to the ground or to below your knees or above your knees. Wherever you're at, that's fine. But don't push your hands on your knees. And take your left leg, straighten your left leg, and straighten the right, and straighten left. It's gonna stretch out the hamstrings. We did a little bit of hamstring stuff with those squats. And then take your feet almost to the distance of your mat, and I want you to squat down, take your elbows, and push your knees out. If you can, clasp your hands in the middle, either with fists or just push your hands against each other to make sure to open up those hips. This will get you a nice in that rock bottom squat position. You have to have good ankle flexion. You have to have good hip mobility in order to have a proper squat, but it'll reflect in so many different ways. So take your feet out. I want you to cross your right ankle over your left knee and scooch your butt forward. You should definitely feel this in your glute. This is kind of like a pigeon pose in yoga, except you're upright, so you're not putting as much pressure on your knee. So this is really good for people with knee pain. If you can, take your right hand and press your right knee further back. You'll definitely feel that in the glutes. And then switch legs. You kind of want to scoot back. Put your left knee over your right and then scoot your butt forward again. And you'll definitely feel this all along your glutes. You get a nice deep stretch. Make sure to breathe. And take your right leg out and stretch up and clasp onto, if you can, the back of your foot, and give your knee a little bend, slight bend in the knee, and then straighten it, and then bend it, and then straighten. That way you work that hamstring. And then up, and then take your left foot forward and your right foot in. Try to align your chest and along the same line. Lift up, and then bend down. You want to try to reach the crown of your head forward towards your toe. Don't try to push your head against your knee. Try to think of lengthening. And that way you'll lengthen the hamstring as well. So make sure to like my video. Come and check my Facebook page out, which is Today I Will Be Fit, facebook.com/Today I Will Be Fit. And also my website is todayiwillbefit.com. So get into butterfly and grab those ankles, and this will really stretch out your hips too. Make sure that your back is nice and tall. Think about that you're a marionette and you're a puppet, and somebody's lifting you with strings from the crown of your head. So thanks so much for checking out my video, guys. This is a 30-day weight loss challenge. So favorite this video and come back and do it 4 to 5 times a week. And then check out one of our other stretching videos on the Psyche Truth website or under Dina Maddie in the YouTube, and do stretching videos 2 to 3 times a week as well. So make sure to give me a thumbs up, share my video, and come check out my website at todayiwillbefit.com. Thanks so much for joining me.